we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined once again by my co-host and brewologist.
That's right, bitches, I'm back. Steph Hefner.
Making an entrance for herself, and of course our fermentertainer,
Wayne Baker.
I should also point out
And
that
I never left.
Steph has no problem saying bitches so loudly, and there's a child wearing headphones over there.
Yeah, but I was told he knows. It's okay. I just
true.
have to put money in the swear jar. It's all good.
There we go. Well, we are, it's a slight change of pace for us.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Rich.
Let's just have headphones on, though. Plus, I'm sure he's had enough of Steph cursing over the years. So we're not quite on location somewhere, but we're not in our own home.
We're in
invited,
a different state.
We're in a different state. Somebody decided to let us back into New Jersey, so there's the first mistake. Again, of course. But we have an old friend with us who invited us out to his home in New Jersey. We have with us
Evan Fritz,
who is, of course, for long-time listeners who may remember, from Manayunk Brewing, and of course Manayunk, Pennsylvania, which kind of begs the question: Manayunk to Jersey. So how long does it take you to get to Manayunk from where we are now?
it depends on the time of the day. So I go in really early, and it's about a half an hour. When I leave, it's about 45 minutes to an hour.
Good God.
Bumper to bumper.
Oh, good old Philly traffic.
Love it.
And those
Yep.
bridges aren't bridges, not anything else, but bridges are not exactly kind.
Especially on a Friday night.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of goodness in
Guys,
front
I
of us.
got 99 problems, but
A bridge ain't
A
one.
bridge ain't one. There's a lot of stuff in front of us for the evening. I should point out that, of course, this episode is brought to you by Audible. You can go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters and sign up for your free 30-day trial where you get to download and listen to and keep an audiobook, because why would you read for yourself when someone else can do it?
Give your eyes a break. You're welcome.
Yes. Give your eyes a break and let your ears do overtime. audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
brilliant as always. Of
course.
This Epidose is in fact brought to you
I've done that a few times.
also in part
Then you have to edit.
by our lovely patrons on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/beerbusters, support your favorite beer-related podcast, and you'll get some cool perks. You'll get your name on our website. We'll say your name on the podcast once in a while. You get behind-the-scenes content. You get exclusive stuff that secret pictures that Steph takes while we're recording. You get to see stuff that we're going to put on our website before it goes up there. So you can go to patreon.com/beerbusters. Give us a couple bucks each time we release an episode. You can donate as little as $1 a month.
Or as much as $1,000 a month and more.
We'll be grateful either way. And hey, if you can't, tell a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's cool too.
Spread the
Speaking
word.
of saying names on air, this is the first time I've been in front of the microphone since the Allentown Cask Ale Fest. What was that guy's name? I said I would say his name, and now I don't remember. It's written down somewhere. But you, that guy that I said I'd give a shout out to on the show, this is your shout out.
At this point, what our listeners are going to hear is Steph saying, so we have to give a shout out to, and then Dan coming in and saying the guy's name.
And I also have to give a shout out to my friends at the Brooklier Homebrew Club. I had the pleasure of judging their Scottish Ale homebrew competition the other night with our buddy Steve Armstrong.
Yes.
Was my assistant judge. And
Scottish ale, an appropriate style for Mr. Armstrong.
and our listeners probably remember Matt Kennedy and Joe Moran from Out of Hand Brews, who were
who can forget?
on the show, 50 episodes ago?
Yeah.
But they are
Holy crap.
members. Well, in fact, Matt kind of runs the show there, but a lot of the members there listen to the show. So thank you to all of those wonderful people that have been listening for quite a long time, probably since Joe and Matt's episode, and to hopefully new ones that will start listening as well. So thank you. That was fun to be a part of that.
Yes, welcome any new listeners, and to those returning, thank you.
Commercial break over.
Yeah. Well, now that commercial is over, we should do this. So last time, Steph, when you weren't with us, I actually made a point to mention that I had too many news stories for that episode. And I figured you might be proud of me for that, but this time I have just enough.
That's because you had to make up for all the lack of talking I'd be doing,
Exactly. But this time I have just enough stories.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Dan. Sorry, not sorry. You did, however, miss a pretty stellar news story
I read the on deck page. I have not listened to the episode yet.
So you're going to have
And I was disturbed slightly.
Oh, just wait. It gets so much better.
And you should be.
Yes. Well, I have...
So it's a little reverse foreshadowing.
I have reverse foreshadowing. I like that.
Well, if they haven't listened.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're listening in reverse order and this is the first episode you've ever heard...
There you go.
Yeah,
then it's
then
foreshadowing.
You're in for a treat, and eventually you will hear Joe Moran and Matt Kennedy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, I have a
And
story.
Evan.
And I've got a story, and then I've got the return of a list.
Yay!
A very coveted list by some people.
Oh,
The-
I know what list.
Okay, so you already know what list it is, and I didn't even
Well,
put
I'm
it on the
assuming.
drive.
I'm
okay,
assuming.
well, anyway. Now, the story I have sort of has like a third-degree tie to Evan. Third-degree tie.
3 degrees of
Maybe,
Evan Fritz.
maybe fourth, because last time we had you in the show, we, of course, had Rockin' Tootin' Gravy Sauce with us, and this story has to do with flying fish. So...
And Pickles is now a flying fish.
Pickles, yes. We can't forget Pickles in there. Rockin' Tuna Gravy Pickle Sauce.
Pickle sauce.
Pickle sauce.
That works.
That's weird.
Yum.
That's your next beer.
A Scranton family steeped in media tradition has diversified into the brewing industry. It's the Lynette and Haggerty families, owners of Times Shamrock Communications, which publishes the Times Tribune and the Citizen's Voice, among other various media sources throughout the country, has purchased a majority interest in Flying Fish Brewing Company, who, of course, we know fairly well, and broke out tequila early on in the show. That was interesting. Now, the family's expertise in marketing, events, and promotions will help the brewery continue to grow and expand its footprint, said Bobby Lynette, manager of L&H Brewing Partners, the entity that now holds a majority interest in, of course, Flying Fish. They declined to disclose the cost of the acquisition. Flying Fish is a nice brewery with good people and great products, said Mr. Lynette,
Those
the
are
publisher
the
of the Times
worst
Tribune.
adjectives ever.
Yes.
That was very generic.
These people are nice.
Yes.
People are very nice.
Their beer is good.
Their beer is good.
Flying Fish currently employs 33 people who produce about 24,000 barrels of beer each year. Now, Gene Mueller, who is the founder of Flying Fish, said he began looking for new partners when some initial investors began to cash out on their investment in the company.
Isn't that the guy that doesn't like vanilla beans, by the way?
I believe so,
Okay.
yes.
Vanilla beans. He joked that the Scranton family emerged as a good fit because, quote, they are Irish. Mr. Mueller,
I thought he
61...
was going to say, quote, they are good.
believes that Flying Fish will benefit from events and other business interests of the Lynn Haggerty families, whom he refers to as, quote, the Scranton guys. These are obvious synergies, he said.
So eloquent. All these people quoted in this article.
We saw an opportunity to inject some enthusiasm into the company and take care of our initial investors. The Scranton guys are part of a 100-year-old company. They understand the long-term horizon. The capital for L&H Brewing Partners came from some individual family members, like and Elk Lake Capital, set up by the family to invest in non-media companies and to add diversity to the family's holdings beyond media and newspaper and radio stations, as well as outdoor advertising. Here's a quote you're going to like. They make beer, and they are the experts on beer, Mr. Lynette said. We want to help them on the business side, help get the word out about the product and introduce it to more consumers. Flying Fish, for example, wants a stronger presence in Northeast Pennsylvania and Baltimore, both markets where Times Shamrock has media assets. The family, who is familiar with running larger businesses, can assist with human resources, accounting, finances.
The family that has, in the past, consumed beer.
Yes. They
beer.
can help with strategic
Good beer.
planning. Good beer from good people.
Nice people.
The article goes on like that. And
Many more intriguing adjectives.
Many more intriguings. Lou Bryson had a shout out in the article. I got to try to find
He
too.
probably used better adjectives.
Philadelphia-based beer journalist Lou Bryson described Flying Fish taking off quickly in the beginning, plateauing, and more recently starting to grow again and generating excitement. Flying Fish was doing the same thing they always had as everyone else was doing: new beers, one-off batches, and experimenting, Mr. Bryson said. They had a great name and geographic position, and that sustained them. The Exit Series beers, based on New Jersey geography and heritage, of course, put Flying Fish back on the radar of the beer world, according to Lou Bryson. So there you go.
Interesting.
Local story. Amount of money they didn't want to disclose, but I'm happy for what's in store for the guys over at Flying Fish, because they make good beer, and I think that does need to get out there.
And
I think this
they
will do
are
them some-
nice.
Yeah, they
They
are
are nice,
very
genuinely.
genuinely nice people.
And I'm pretty sure they medaled this year, too.
Did they?
Yes, I believe
GABF.
so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the stuff they're cranking out is just fantastic overall.
Can I just say, I think somebody needs to open the Scranton Guys Brewing Company. I think that'd be a cool name for a brewery.
That's
Those
a good
Scranton
idea.
Guys.
The Scranton
Good
Guys.
beer
about-
for nice people.
Yes.
Good beer for nice people.
Or good beer by
Perfect.
nice people, I was
There you
going to
go.
say.
Now, the list in question is, let me get it up here on the computer screen. That is actually currently out of sight. The Brewers Association has released the top 50 breweries, craft breweries for the year of 2015.
Are we going to play How Many Can You Name? I know Founders is on there.
Okay.
The top breweries of
Is
2015.
Weyerbacher on there, I believe?
In what's the metric?
Volume, I believe it was.
Okay, so the top producers.
Yes.
Lagunitas,
Lagunitas,
Oh, for sure.
Stone,
Dogfish,
Rogue.
New Belgium.
Anybody want to take a crack at any of those numbers on the list?
Is Boston beer on
Boston beer's on
Boston
there.
beer's
Is
definitely on
this,
there.
this is
Nevada.
all breweries?
Craft.
Just craft. Okay.
Right.
So
Sierra-
obviously number one is Boston Beer Company.
Yingling.
I think Sierra Nevada.
Yingling.
Oh, that's right. Yingling is
Yingling's
craft
allowed
now.
to be craft
Yep,
now.
yep. Yingling is number one. What I like about the list they had on the website this year, instead of their normal chart, they actually have the list and then a map also.
Wow.
So you can point out the geography of it. So
Is your mind blown?
slightly, because I don't normally, they don't put out cool graphics like that from the Brewers Association.
that's true.
In my experience.
Ooh, Oscar Blues.
Oscar Blues.
Oscar
Let me
Blues.
see. All right.
Faux shizzle.
Let me peruse the list for a second. Talk amongst yourself.
Hey, by the way, since the last time I talked to you guys, I got my Epic badge on Untapped.
Nice.
Five.
Oh, did you see?
That
Bart-
sounds impressive.
It is 5,000
Everything
unique
she does
check-ins.
on Untapped is just she like owns it.
No, I need to catch up to Woody. Woody has like 7,600
Okay.
unique check-ins.
Bart posted on Facebook when he got his 1,000th check-in, and I posted a link to Dan's post about your 5,000th, and I was like, "You've got some catching up to do."
I'm gonna hold the computer here. Oscar Blues, I don't see.
Oh, Anchor.
Really?
I mean, I'm also turning the computer so you can
Oh,
see it. I kinda
we're
can
not
see it.
allowed to.
Well, anyway, so Wayne already guessed number one, Yingling. Number two was Boston Beer Company, who once Yingling was allowed to be considered craft, is the reason Boston Beer is now number two. Sierra Nevada was three. New Belgium was number four. We heard Lagunitas, they're number six. Is it Gambrinus? Gambrinus, yeah, they were number five. Now, here's what I found interesting.
What's Dogfish, about 9?
Dogfish
13 maybe?
had 16 this year.
Woo!
They were higher
compared
up before,
to
weren't they?
13
I think they were
last
13,
year.
yeah.
Yeah. Now we had Lagunitas and Deschutes last year were number 6 and
Or
7.
Deschutes, as Rich calls it.
Who are coming to Virginia?
Yes, they are. That was a story from last week.
Yeah.
Bell's is number 7
Oh,
this
yeah,
year,
Bell's, of
as
course.
compared to number 8 last year. Stone is number 10 this year from number 9 last year. They dropped a
Now,
spot.
this is just barrels produced in America,
Based on 2015 volume, beer sales volume.
but it sales in America
I would
because
assume
now
so.
they have a
'Cause
brewery
they
in
go-
Berlin.
I would assume so. I didn't
would think,
see anything
yeah.
that would lend to that, but it would make sense that it's
Since
only
it's
the U.S.
okay. I'm just wondering, like, if that counted, that obviously might
3 Floyds?
catapult them.
3 Floyds.
Do they make that much?
I don't know.
They make great beer.
I don't see 3 Floyds on here.
Cigar City?
Cigar. Oh, they if not now, they will be soon.
Well, yeah. Who bought them? Was it somebody bought? I forget who bought them.
Insert name here.
Yeah, somebody. No, I don't see them either.
I just gotta look.
Yeah, I mean some other.
Oh, New Glarus.
There you go.
Love.
Nice.
Oh,
Of course.
Harpoon.
Harpoon.
Love Harpoon.
Great Lakes was number 21.
Victory 26.
Yeah,
Nice.
there you go. I
Trogs?
saw. Yeah,
Trogs
Trogs
gotta be on there,
was.
Allagash?
I just saw them. Trogs was 45.
Allagash is on there.
Allagash was 42.
Green Flash.
Oh, you know what? Flying Dog.
Flying Dog.
Oh,
37.
They got it in
okay.
there.
Steph's got better eyes on it than I do. 21st Amendment was number 35 in there.
Trogs
Rogue was
45.
34.
I don't know if we said that
Yeah,
already.
I think we did.
Beer Republic.
Odell.
32.
This is the point where our listeners are like, just send us the link.
Yeah, I mean, the list will be. We'll post the infographic, definitely.
Manayunk Brewing Company.
We just missed.
Yes,
They're number 51. 51.
Better luck next time.
Yeah, there's also Narragansett was on there, 38, which there's a cool bar in Philly, by the way. You can always get a $2.75 pounder of Narragansett.
Gansett Lager.
It's so great.
Nice.
I've had more of those than I should probably admit. Including, I had my birthday at that bar last year, and that was
Ooh, how about Southern Tier?
Southern
Yeah,
Tier.
they were on there. 40,
Were they?
around 40.
Didn't they just get bought or
Yeah.
merged
They
or something?
sort of merged with
Was that a
Victory.
Victory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had like
The craft beer
consortium.
I think it's
yeah.
called a craft beer monopoly or something.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. AB Light.
I don't
think they're there yet.
No, I don't think so.
Now Pumpkin will be available literally year round, not
So-
accidentally year round.
Southern Tier was 33
It'll probably be in a can now.
in a can.
Probably will.
Did you say flying fish?
Flying Fit, no, Flying
Flying Dog.
Flying Dog was up there. Yeah, Flying Dog.
So nobody from New Jersey.
Climbing that ladder.
Oh, let me look at the map just to verify.
Oh, that's right. There's a
Oh,
map.
the map.
We have the technology, people.
Geography.
No,
This is the 21st century.
nope. No.
Nothing
Nope.
from-
New Jersey.
no.
New Jersey's alone. Well, its bottle caps are like the number that it is for where they're on the list.
Right.
So in New York you have 12. In Delaware you have 16, and then Pennsylvania's got 145 and 26.
145.
I'm lost.
And 26.
A lot
Basically,
of things are
Evan,
happening.
beerbusterspodcast.com, and you
Yeah.
can find this list.
That's all good.
Yeah. So
Great news. Thanks.
thanks.
I
Thanks
like
for the
lists.
sarcasm.
It wasn't sarcasm. It was genuine, actually.
Came across as sarcasm.
I don't think there's anything better than a good list.
You know,
There's nothing, especially when Dan is reading it.
So we are in Jersey again. Somebody decided to let us across state borders again, and I'm very happy to be here. I have to say, you have a very lovely home.
Oh, thank you.
And there's
Even for New Jersey.
yeah. Oh snap! Most of New Jersey has a better house than me. All right. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I know that you have a lot of cool things on the horizon with Manayunk, and for a company that's been there. I mean, since I've been in the city, Manayunk Brewery has been a thing that has always been really cool to go to, because Manayunk is sort of like, it's technically Philadelphia, but it's not really Philly, but it's always been this destination for any time anybody wanted to go anywhere and hang out and do something really cool, because you have all the bars in Center City, you have all the, I mean, nowadays you have all the craft beer bars that are around, but this was cool to go to a restaurant that was a brewery that made their own recognizable beer, and I'm excited.
And you can sit on a deck and look at the river.
And you can sit on a deck and look at the river. And somebody took me to that restaurant for my birthday a few years ago, and it was a great time. And I'm glad to see the tradition is being carried on, but yet you're also growing and doing new things. Like I told you before we started recording, Wayne and I had the creek that you did, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that you were going down that road, but I'm so happy to see that you did.
You have quite a number of sour beers.
We do.
When did that? Because I mean, historically, Manayunk has never really been known for crazy out there beers. Were you the one that started that at Manayunk?
Well, prior to me, Doug kind of started to dabble in it. I think because he was influenced by me to do it, and I went out and found us some barrels, and he always had these ideas of making like Schuylkill Punch in a Brett version and calling it Schuylkill Funk. So I was just there just to give him that little boost and say, let's just do it. And, not to say that he was safe. He never pulled the trigger. And so I kind of convinced him to, and it just grew from there. I mean, now, when I started, we had 0 barrels, and we're up to about 50 or 60 now. Wow. So we're aging a lot of beer in our cellar. And, I even like doing the stainless sours, which are a lot of fun. So
You have room for 50 barrels there?
yeah, barely.
Yeah.
The good thing about barrels is they stack.
Last time we were there, some of the space was there's a little tight squeezes in there. But it's always amazing how you guys, brewers, find the space for what you need. Like when Mad Chef said they were going to add those fermenters.
Yeah, I still don't know
no
where
way.
that's going.
And then they did.
Yeah,
and they're like,
Greg
here
kept
you go.
sending me
I'll tell you
pictures
this-
to prove it.
I'll tell you the secret to that is hire a skinny assistant brewer. Because he can fit everywhere where I can.
I like that.
Is that why Mark's no longer there?
Oh, Mark.
Mark and I would just look at each other and like, it's not happening.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not going back there.
But there's a lot of new things that are coming up too. So you have those barrels that are there, but you also have a canning line coming in also.
Yeah, actually, next week it's going to be
wow.
here. Yeah, we're going to be doing our own cans. We had a great relationship with River City, who does the mobile canning thing. They were great. They helped us really get into markets that we weren't in before. Do a hell of a job, and it was time for us to, assume some of that extra cost ourselves, and hopefully add that to the bottom line and have a little bit more control over how much we're doing, how often we're canning.
You have to imagine if you had to bring them in for the mobile canning, you were kind of at the mercy of their schedule, whereas now you're on your own production time.
That's the biggest thing, really, is like, we had to schedule it months in advance sometimes. They were so busy, which, says a lot about who they are and what they're doing, that people want to line up to use their service. But also, we want like the beer to be super fresh, and, we'd have, when they would come in, when we could get them for a day to do a canning run, we might have to do 400, 500, 800 cases. Where now we can do 100 cases one week and 100 the next if we want. And so it can always be super fresh. So, it's worth it. It's a big pill to swallow right now as far as how much it costs, but I think in the long run it's going to work out.
Yeah. I would imagine. I mean, I know you already did cans through them. Now, what beers did you have canned up to now?
Oh, Jesus, way too many.
Was it a lot? Really?
Way too many.
I've only seen one or two around the city. So
many.
Okay.
And it's always new stuff, which I love. I'm the person. I always want to drink what I've never had before.
Well, then I guess the better question might be, what are you going to start canning with your own line?
Well, we have the entire year already figured out. So,
oh wow,
the first run that we're going to do is actually a German Gosa. It's made with cucumbers and melons and pink sea
Steph just
salt.
lit up at that.
Yeah,
I'm in love.
Yeah, so that's going to be our first run. We're going to do our Summer Paradise, which is a Berliner Weiss. That's going to be next week. So that's going to be our last run, probably with River City.
A Goza, a Berliner Weiss. Steph's just getting happier and happier.
I might have to move to the city.
Then we're doing,
our
next hip hop IPA series, and it just goes on and on. We're doing a whole bunch of pounders this summer. A blueberry IPA, Hopgasm again.
Whoa.
Blueberry IPA.
Whoa.
Grapefruit IPA, mango IPA.
See, mango and grapefruit. Yeah.
Blueberry.
It's amazing. Heard it before, but
different.
blueberry IPA?
It's a blueberry rye IPA called.
Ooh.
Get the name Hoppa Smurf.
Yes.
Hoppa Smurf.
Yes, that will be a new brewery bill.
Oh my
It
goodness.
has to be.
How have you done a blueberry beer before?
We did this last year, and it just fucking flew off the taps.
Really?
Like, we couldn't make enough of it, and so we decided, let's can it, and let's see how it goes. So
Yeah.
we're going to have pounders of it.
How hard is it to work with blueberries?
You know what? It's very hard.
I figured.
You need a lot of blueberry.
Yeah, because they're so small, and you want the blueberry flavor. But even if you're just eating blueberries, you don't get the punch with one.
You really just have to learn how to talk to them and know,
Really?
be able to anticipate the mood and don't get in their line of sight when they're in the middle of doing what they do.
This is not turning the way you were hoping, so stop.
Sorry.
So where was the inspiration for... I mean, I know you do a lot of crazy, but blueberry rye, where did that come from?
That wasn't me. That was Donovan, the other brewer. It was just something that he wanted to do, and I said, all right, I was crazy enough to try it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Tell us about Donovan. We didn't get the pleasure of meeting him last time we were...
Yeah, Donovan was our truck driver.
No way.
Yeah. He was doing all of our deliveries, and he's a great dude. I mean, I love working with him. We get along great. We're really... I think he's a big part of my inspiration as a brewer. Also with the direction of the brewery that it's going. We just kind of feed off each other and have great ideas, and it's just a really good relationship.
And he's skinny, so that helps, right?
And he's skinny. He can fit behind a lot of tanks that I can't fit behind. But no, he's a very hard worker. When Mark left for Flying Fish, I put all my eggs in his basket. And I said, come with me into the brewery, and he loved it and never looked back.
It worked out perfectly. Mm-hmm. Now, will you need to bring on an additional person now that...
Oh, we did. We have, let's see, we've got 4, 5, 6 full-time guys in the brewery now.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And a bunch of interns that help out a lot.
Wow.
So we're growing. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, now, with the canning line being added, will this just replace the amount of cans that you were doing before, or are you going to be canning more and continuing to expand your distribution?
Yes. Yes, we're going to be canning a lot more. Yeah. New Jersey has really been really strong for us, and so we're going to continue to grow in New Jersey. It happens to be like an off-premise kind of state, not a lot of bars, but a lot of stores where you can buy cans, and people like to drink at home. So we haven't really scratched the surface of what we can do there, and so we're hoping that's going to continue to be the growth. But also in PA, the supermarkets are really, home runs now. Everybody wants to buy their beer there because they're already grocery shopping there. It's cheaper. And they just have they have great selections. So.
It definitely is cheaper. I love when
I've been introduced to the infamous Acme.
The infamous Acme.
I've now bought beer from there twice.
Yes, because it's $11.99 for a mixed 6-pack.
Which one's that?
Acme
South
does
Philly?
not pay us, people. Just so you
20th in
know.
Oregon. 20th in Oregon, and it's fantastic. And that's where I got the Bottle of the Creek. I had Wayne got a 6-pack. I got that, and even the price on that wasn't bad. I mean,
$10, right?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah. And you got to factor in like the state liquor tax and everything. Sure. But it's so convenient. I like that you're bringing that up as the market to get into with that.
Although it is kind of a pain that you can't just like buy the beer with your groceries.
That's true. Yeah, Pennsylvania State Law, you got to buy food and liquor.
We've got a little more ways to go, but we're getting there.
It's a step in the right
Rich
direction.
and I were up in Boston a few weeks ago.
Did you ship up to Boston?
We shipped up to Boston with our wooden legs. And to be able to put my food and my beer on the same belt in the grocery store, it was like, oh, this is what this is like.
Yeah.
We bought a 4-pack of Boom Sauce and chocolate at the Whole Foods.
Yep. I went to a concert in Brooklyn, and the corner store, I could get a coffee and then a 6-pack if I wanted to.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, Pennsylvania has come a long way, though.
They have, yeah.
And Jersey has their downsides with their beer laws as well. I mean...
Yeah, they're like everybody. I mean, they're all getting better. They see that this is a growing industry. It's one of the fastest in the United States.
God,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're all trying to jump on board and help do whatever they can.
Yeah. It'd be stupid not to. With 4,200 operating at any one given point, I mean, it's more than a growing business.
$151 billion craft beer last
Oh, my
year.
God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
It's
money.
a lot of money.
Oh, my God.
I don't think it's a fad.
No,
I
not
think
at
it's
all.
here to
Yeah.
stay. Well, so you have a very big event. In fact, the weekend that this episode releases, the longest running beer festival, or one of the longest running beer festivals in Philadelphia, is going on as of the release of this episode this weekend.
Yeah, so it's the Manayunk Brew Fest, which is every April, the end of April. It's right on the river outside. I think we've got about 30 to somewhere between 30 and 40 confirmed breweries this year, with over 75 different beers.
Wow.
We're going to have ciders. Last year we did something new. We did a bourbon barbecue beer kind of fest, and we really went over well, and people liked it. So we're doing it again this year. So we're going to have some bourbons and some whole pigs on a spit, and
Nice.
yeah, it should be a good time.
That sounds amazing.
And this is the 18th annual?
This is it's funny. This is our 20th anniversary. We opened in '96. But I'm guessing before my time there was a couple years where there was a flood and it didn't have
Blood,
the
yeah, I was
festival.
gonna say probably.
Yeah. So this is the 18th. It's really confusing. It's the 18th festival, but 20th
It's been
year.
20 years.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Has the river been kind to you guys lately? Because I know last time we had you on, you told us about when basically everything was upended. But I mean, that you guys have a beautiful spot there, and Steph even said earlier you can sit on the deck there, but that's the inherent danger with it. Like, are you guys always in fear of something else happening?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't long ago. It was a couple weeks ago, maybe a month, and they said the river was going to come over again, and we had to move everything upstairs and load up trucks full of all of our equipment and tables and chairs, and then nothing happened. So just one of those things. You better be prepared. The last flood, which is the only one I was there for, was just a flash flood, so there was no warning, there was no news, there was nothing to watch on radar. It just all of a sudden, oh shit, get out of here before
water.
Yeah. It's coming over, and get out of here before you can't get out of here. So
Yeah.
it's really a bummer, man. I like the environment and the scenery. It's all great, but I don't like cleaning up mud and Schuylkill water.
I can imagine that's got to be. Yeah. Has there been any? And it's obviously, I mean, we were there. It's a great location. But has there been any thought or talk of like, maybe we should move? Maybe not like the restaurant side, but maybe put the brewery somewhere else for production. Has that is an idea that's ever crossed, or they're just like, well, we'll deal with the floods because we love this spot and we're going to stay here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really involved in those discussions that much, but I always urge them to move. I mean, and the way things are going right now, we don't have any more room. We had to put our last 2 fermenters outside, and that took away from valuable real estate for the restaurant. So, the next step is to open up an off-site brewery, and I think we're probably about 12 to 16 months from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're getting really close.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you have any spots in mind for that, if you're able to say?
They've
Right
been,
down the street.
They've been the higher ground. Put it that way. Anything
Further
that's
from
I mean,
river.
that's the thing, too. With Manayunk, for anybody who doesn't know the area, there is a lot of higher ground because it's built on that giant hill. It's very annoying. But I can imagine... I mean, do you see your guys going still in Manayunk, just higher ground, or do you think you'll go like into the city or out to Roxborough, or
Maybe South Philly.
we're not really that
I've got a
close.
basement you could use for a couple fermenters?
Yeah, we're not really that close as far as like choosing a site yet, but we've talked about anything, warehouse space, industrial parks. There's some actual buildings in Manayunk that they've looked at and they kind of like, and so I don't really know. As long as it doesn't flood, I'm happy.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I would imagine too. Yeah.
So tell me about this Taste of Philly event that you guys are doing at the beginning of May.
Yeah, so the Craft Brewers Conference is coming to Philadelphia this year, so we're all really excited, and we just actually today sent over our list. we just basically invited every cool brewer and brewery owner that we know of that we would want to meet to our place. It's on, I think it's on that Wednesday of CBC, so May 4th maybe.
May the 4th be with you.
Hey.
Yeah. So, we're just want them to show them what, Philly hospitality is all about. We're going to have tons of food and tons of beer, and just we've got 3 different shuttles that are running from the convention center and the hotels down to the brew pub all night. So it should be a lot of fun.
There will be a lot of soching, I'm sure, from the Manayunk accounts we'll have to watch.
Yes.
And then the end of the month, of course, the end of May will be Philly Beer
Week.
Are there any Philly Beer Week events that you're especially looking forward to, or are they all still muddled in your brain trying to figure it all out right now?
They're all fun. I mean, we do something at the Gray Lodge in the Northeast called the Beer Olympics, and we have all these drinking games, and we give out medals to the teams that win, and other breweries come, and people that are there hang out and they play. That's always fun every year. Standard Tap has a bunch of great events. They've got like some brunches, and of course I always go to Johnny Brenda's for their Firkin Riot, where they have these huge steel cages built up on the bar with Firkin after Firkin. That's always a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, we kind of stay right in the city. We have our key accounts and our friends. We just hang out and do things with them.
So follow your Facebook page is probably the best advice, and of course phillybeerweek.com.
Sure.
For the ever-growing list of...
It's probably.com. I don't actually know.
The ever-growing list of events that are for that entire week. So there was another... So you've got Philly Beer Week you have, and I checked the Taste of Philly one. That's a Wednesday night. I was hoping I could go, but it's a Wednesday night. So for anybody who is able to go, Wednesday, May 4th, go and do that. Is it .org? Really?
I thought so, yeah. phillybeerweek.org.
So it's super busy right now, and
Yeah,
we have a lot
good.
of shit going on, and I like it that way. And we're honing in on the beers that we're making, and just it's exciting right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, and
You guys have a ton of shelf space everywhere, too. You go to Wegmans. You
it's
go
all
to
over, yeah.
the beer store Malvern and beer store Philly. And, I mean, everywhere you go locally, there is Manayunk on the shelf. It's not. You don't even have to, look for it. It's there. And it's neat to see, not only because we know you, but also because we know how good the beers are and what a great reputation Manayunk has. So it's nice to know that is there when you go to buy beer. And I love that there's always something new. I love that.
That's what I was going to say. Every time I see Manayunk on the shelf, it's always, I've never heard of that. I've never
what's
heard that
that?
before.
I'll take that.
That's new. Yeah, that's cool.
Even Mary's, the local beer store in Reading, they had a whole end cap of just Manayunk beers last time I was in there,
That's
which
cool.
is awesome. I love it.
yeah, Mary's 6-pack.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I love that you guys love that, because that's our business model, is to keep brewing something new. And I really don't believe in flagship brands, and I think I drink the same way. I don't want to get the same beer again.
Yeah. And I think a lot of craft beer drinkers are that way.
Definitely.
I don't know what it is about us that we can't just... We're not... It's like the anti-Budweiser. We've seen our grandfather ordered Buds for his entire life.
Yeah, I don't think it's, from some aspects, it's not really probably the most profitable, because guys like the Yards and the Flying Fishes who make, year-round beers and just do shitloads of volume and tons of beer, that's a different business model. And we just like to do unique, fresh, something new all the time. I mean, this year I think we're only repeating 2 or 3 beers that we did last year or that we've ever done. There's always going to be some staples at the brew pub that you can have, the Schuylkill punches and stuff like that. But we just try to do something new, and we're planning on doing it next year too. We'll just come out with all new IPAs and all new sours and all new whatever we come up with.
I support that.
Yeah,
That's what I like to hear.
cool. I'm glad to hear that, because it's sometimes we're not sure if that's the right move or not, but it seems to be working.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely, like you said, a lot of craft beer drinkers. It's, I've had that before. What else do you got, So, yeah, it's pretty cool to always see something new and different. Although it's got to be a lot of work.
Yeah, but it's so fun, because your creative juices are always flowing. You're never, oh, God, we got to brew this again.
Yeah.
We're always looking forward to something new and trying something. And, it's all about experimenting and just trying different ingredients, different, grain bills, different hops, and...
Now, do you find that comes with, and I'm sure as, an experienced, competent brewer, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're constantly brewing new recipes and new ideas, is there always that chance that a beer's just not going to work?
Yeah, it happens.
More often than if you're brewing the same flagship beers all the time.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the great thing about brewing different beers all the time is there's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah,
so you don't know
fair,
if it's as good as the last time you brewed it.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, and I'm not... I'm not scared of trying to, reproduce beers or anything like that. I mean, I can do it, and it's all about process and procedure, but it's not exciting to me. I just, when I make a beer, even if I've made it already, this is as good as last time, but I want something different is what it's, it's not about the quality from that aspect. It's about the, the uniqueness or something that I've never had before or something I've never tried.
He's making me thirsty.
I was thinking of a segue into it, but I think with that in mind, I think we should do this.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
So there's 2 growlers that are on the table.
Yes.
One of which I've been told is a Kolsch.
It is. It's the first Kolsch I've ever brewed, and maybe the first Kolsch ever at Manayunk. I'm not sure. I brewed some at the homebrew scale before, but this is the first one we did. So it's typical Kolsch with an ale yeast at lager temperatures and noble hops, and dive right in. I mean, I think it's delicious. I'd like to see what you guys think.
Wayne, crack it open.
I'm going to crack it open. I think Kolsch is my favorite style of beer to say.
Kolsch. You know what? It's my favorite.
Kolsch.
It's
so
my
fun to
favorite to type because I get to
the umlaut.
Yeah, I get to get the little umlaut symbol thing, and I just learned on the iPhone if you hold down the O, you get all these different O's.
It's probably the only character that I actually know the shortcut to pretty much on any device because it's the one I use more often.
And I'm a weirdo. One of my OCD things is that I won't write it without that now.
Of course.
So if I'm writing it, even if I'm just sending an email to somebody, I've got to have the little dots.
Just for you, I'll put the umlaut over my handwritten O.
Well, I was looking at it. If you didn't, I was going to. So.
Dankeschön.
Yeah, sure.
I'm pouring for everyone else, Dan, because I poured yours really shitty, so I'm waiting for the head to dissipate.
Appreciate it.
Waiting for the head to dissipate.
Yeah, this just went on tap at the restaurant this week, so it's super fresh. It lagered for quite a bit. It's going to lager some more in the tank, I'm sure. Perfect, spring into summertime beer.
Ooh, the smell. Oh, wow.
I like it a lot. It's delicious.
Ooh, yes.
It's clean. You get that floral, fruity nose and that nice, crisp malt flavor. It's delicious. So easy drinking.
It is so easy drinking, but what's great about German lager styles in general is some of them, like the Kolsch and like this one in particular, are clean and easy drinking, but it still has that hearty,
tastes
small
like beer.
meal in
It's
a
still a
glass.
beer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It tastes like beer, and it's delicious.
I hear that Kolsch goes well with pizza, too.
I would
I
think
think we
so.
should experiment with that.
Should we try it?
Should we experiment with
Let's
that?
try it.
So Steph was right. We have some pizza from Cecilia's here we're in Clayton, New Jersey right now, and it is pairing very well with the Kolsch. I am curious, though, how the pizza at Manayunk would pair with it. And I feel like I have to make a trip to find that out. What kind of pizzas do you guys have? Do you do standard pepperoni and all that, or do you do any weird, I don't want to say weird, but inspired ones?
Creative.
There, that's another way to put it.
Meat and double meat.
You could get pepperoni,
Or sausage.
or sausage.
Or sausage.
They've got a margarita pizza. They've got a mushroom pizza.
Oh, we had the margarita when we were recorded
that's
with you
right.
guys
We
there.
did,
That
yeah.
was
Yes.
That's
hella
pretty good. They have a taco pizza, which is pretty good.
I vaguely remember that one, too.
Yeah, I think we might have had that one. I don't remember the other ones.
The pizza brings out the fruitiness flavor a little more in the Kolsch. I don't know if it's because of the sauce, the slightly sweet pizza sauce, but it's nice. I was getting more of the bready, malty flavor when we were drinking it before, and now I'm getting those pleasant, fruitier notes.
Yeah, it's warming up a little bit too, so they're coming out.
So will this ever be in a can, or is this something you just brewed for the restaurant?
I just brewed it for me. If there's any left, the restaurant can have some. But no, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we have the whole year planned out. We know everything that we're brewing, how many cases, what month it's coming out, and so on. So it won't be in a can this year, but who knows?
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So when you do a draft-only beer, is it draft-only at the restaurant and brewery, or do those beers also go out to your accounts in the Philly area?
Oh yeah, anybody can buy anything that we brew. So we sent out a a whole bunch of kegs of this to City Tap House in Logan Square.
I thought I saw your stuff on tap there.
Yeah, so they have a session, some kind of session craft beer express party event thing tomorrow. So this is on there for tomorrow. Yeah,
Session beer, Dan. That means it's not 14%.
A real session beer.
Well, actually, it's what 5.2
5 to
Session-ish.
So it's not
session-ish.
technically.
Sorry, Lou.
well,
Lou
for
Bryson
City
was
Tap
not
House, we
for-
made a special when it was 4.9.
okay.
That's still not session.
Yeah, well, their cutoff was 5, so
They're not Lou Bryson.
I told him he could put 4.9 on the menu.
Just say if they want to get
I
real
see what
picky
you
about
did
it,
there.
just put like a little bit of water in each glass. It'll be slightly
Dilute
less.
it. I almost missed that. And we're at Harrisburg Beer Week. We're doing a Little Big Beer Fest there, which is the complete opposite of that. What does it have to be, like 9% or higher?
I think last year it was 9.
Yeah. So that's the opposite of Session Beer Day.
But some people snuck in beers that weren't that high. But this year, according to Chelsea, they're going to be big beers. They have to be big beers, and they've got to be approved.
tougher.
Or they'll send you home. So, brewers, reps, whoever's going to be there, there's not going to be any playing games this year.
No playing games.
Go big or go home.
Wow.
Quit playing games with my liver.
Wow. We're at that point. We're still on the first
I know,
beer, and
well,
we're at that point already.
This is
Is
a
that
really
Dan
good.
Timberlake?
Yeah. What our listeners don't realize, because we've probably cut out a lot of pizza eating in the last 20, 30 minutes or however long it's been, we've all refilled our tasting glasses with this delicious Kolsch like 3 times because it's really
a session
good.
beer, though, so
And
we
yeah,
can.
Let's be honest, I would do that when I'm sober.
Of course, just to foreshadow a bit, I believe Evan's last correspondence via email said something to the effect of, "It's good you have a DD."
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Wait till we get to later. Can I say what we're having later?
Sure, you can
Yeah.
say what. This is your show, kid.
So it's triple IPA, over 10.5%.
Oh, God.
And yeah, I drank one, and I don't remember the rest of the night.
Wow.
Is that
And
Sir
I can-
Dankalot?
It is, and I can hold my shit, and it's just like I'm scared to have another one. So
I am
you guys
glad,
might be drinking that one without me.
I'm glad there's pizza to soak it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice greasy pizza. And as we know from prior episodes, greasy food is good to eat
Yes.
to help you not get hungover.
Well, I mean, it's good
So
to eat
we're
no matter
doing it
what.
right.
I was going to say, you could have just stopped at good
Yeah.
meat.
True. That's true. That's true.
Now, there is another growler that is on the table.
Oh, damn, your glass is empty.
Yeah, well, so is you. Oh, no, you have a little bit left.
I switched up the order a little bit just
Okay.
because this is the one that had the cool picture on the front.
Yeah.
This
So,
is out of
OG
an
growler.
old school Manayunk growler.
It doesn't really matter. This is it's called Brotherly Love. It's our cider that we do. It's only in house. They're all about 5%, and this one's dry hopped with Equinox hops.
Ooh.
Yeah, so what we've been doing lately is when we do a cider, we'll split it and we'll do one with some spices or fruit or something, and then the second one we do dry hopped with something. So this is my first dry hop cider. It's pretty tasty. I don't drink a lot of cider, but this came out pretty nice. And,
Ooh. I haven't even taken a sip of it yet, but in the nose, I get the cider and the hops together, and they're playing very well together.
Yeah.
Quit playing games with my hops.
Oh, dear.
Mine was
So what is the rule about breweries brewing ciders?
Is there a rule?
There is. It's more of like a law. It's not really a rule.
Yeah, that.
That's sort of like a big rule.
Yeah.
They call those laws.
Yeah, it's as long as you keep it in Pennsylvania, as long as you keep it under 5.5%, I believe it's okay.
This is good.
Yeah, it is.
you.
I hate ciders, and this is good.
Thank you.
This, and I had from, what was that place? They made the Creek cider, the place in like Central PA. That was really
Bullfrog?
good too. No, it's a cider place.
Cider Jack's.
Oh, crap.
Keep talking. I will look it up.
All right, Google it.
This is good. Why?
So shit. Wait, that doesnn't work.
Well, it could. Why Equinox? Is that what you happen to have in the cooler, or was that on purpose?
No, you know what? It was just something that we wanted to play around with. We did a shout out to Barley Legal Homebrewers, which is our local homebrew club. We did the homebrew of the year came and brewed a batch with us a few months ago, and we did an all Equinox single hop IPA. and so we had the Equinox hops. I've never used them, and we had a bunch left over, and we thought we'd try it out.
Nice.
This, and just so a little bit about my preference in cider is I like them dry. I like them a little sparkly. The one that we did, the other half of this batch was Brotherly Love Winter, and that had ginger, vanilla beans, and something else, which I can't remember what it was. But that was back sweetened, and so it was a sweeter cider. It was still a little bit sparkly, but this is something that if I was going to have a cider, which I usually don't, I would have something like this. It's kind of, I think, bone dry. It's still got a good apple flavor. It's got the little bit of hops, but with no bitterness because it was only dry hopped. So I'm glad you guys like it.
It is very good, and it does have a nice, like, fine, effervescent sort of carbonation to it.
I have to tell you, the only time I ever get ciders is if I'm ordering a flight and it happens to come with a cider. That's the only time. I will never go out of my way to buy or order a cider.
I don't go out of my way to get ciders.
This is one that I think I could actually drink a pint of.
I've had quite a few ciders that I like.
You want to try it against a commercial example?
That would be awesome, yes.
I've been dying to open this, too.
Oh boy.
I think you're spot on, though, by saying the bone, how dry it is. I think that is so key. Because sometimes I think it's that syrupy, that apple sweetness that's just... That turns me off. I feel like I need a glass of water or a beer to wash it down to get that flavor out of my mouth.
Sure. So this is Jack's, which is also made with all local Pennsylvania apples. This is their Fireside, which is their winter cider, which is what I kind of modeled without even trying this. I modeled our winter cider after. And it has cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and vanilla. I left out the cloves because I'm not a fan. But we'll try it and see how it tastes like. This is considerably lighter in color.
It is considerably lighter in
probably, color. I would assume filtered, which nothing I ever have brewed has been filtered.
I like that. I like
That's
unfiltered.
our grandfather's favorite brewery, this one. Because he can go to Cigar City and drink beer and watch them make cigars. It's like his two favorite things come together as one.
That's pretty cool.
This is it's much more pungent in the aroma.
It really is.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
there's a lot of vanilla and cinnamon.
Yeah, and it
kind of reminds me of a pumpkin beer in the nose.
Yeah, vanilla, cinnamon, clove. Absolutely.
Biglersville, Pennsylvania. No way.
You've never heard of Jack's?
I don't think so. What?
Whoa.
Oh well, I know you don't like cider, but they're getting pretty big.
It's spiced with cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and vanilla.
Even in the taste, you get a lot of the cinnamon. A lot of the cinnamon up front. Which I get it. Apples and cinnamon go very well together, but I don't
like oatmeal.
I don't get apple anywhere in this.
It tastes like Glühwein. It is so Glühwein. That's what it is. If we'd warm it up, that German spiced wine you always get at the...
Oh.
Wow.
I had no idea what Glühwein was, but when you said
that's exactly
German
what this
wine,
tastes like.
I know what you mean, yes. It does. And I
don't hate it.
I'm much more of a fan of the flavor than the aroma. I feel like in the aroma there's like too many things competing and none of it really
I'm not a fan of any
out.
part of it at all. Sorry,
No?
Jack's. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not. The aroma's just...
I don't like cider, like I said, really to begin with, but yeah, no.
I surprisingly don't hate it.
I think it tastes kind of nice. It is very cinnamony in the taste.
But I don't think it's anywhere close to what an apple cider should taste like.
I've heard of Hauser, the winery. That's where the cidery is. It's part of the Hauser Estate Winery.
Okay.
That I've heard of. Well, good for... I mean, it's kind of cool that seasonal cider in a can. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Although, coming back to the Equinox Brotherly Love after having the Jacks, I think the hop character comes out more. Following it? I already got like half a bottle. Thank you.
I don't know. Mine smells watered down a little bit.
I think you'll find that is actually water in your glass.
Oh. Makes sense.
Damn.
I get more of like a champagne out of it than I do like the sparkling cider. But it's probably just because the over cinnamon and vanilla and all the stuff in the Jacks probably overshot the apple in here.
Yeah. The Jacks is much sweeter. The Equinox is much drier, as you said earlier.
It doesn't taste like cider to me. It tastes like spiced wine.
It does taste like spiced wine, yeah. It's not... I don't like dislike it. I'm really not a fan of the aroma, but I think it tastes pretty good.
But at only 5%, like if you're a spiced wine fan, holy crap, drink this. You'll be able to drink a lot more.
Yeah. I'd actually like to let it warm up a bit and try it again a little bit later.
Do you want to try this? You might actually like this.
Gets an eh from Rich.
I don't think Rich likes it. It does. The aroma's
The
kind of
aroma
strange.
is off.
Yeah.
I've smelled that aroma before, though.
Yeah, it smells like cinnamon.
I think it does. I don't think it smells like cinnamon.
No?
I think it smells like something else.
Oh no, I smell nothing but cinnamon. Like a
It's almost like a burnt.
Like acetic.
Yeah.
sweaty.
Actually, there's a bit of like sulfur.
I think that's the summer season.
yeah.
hardiness.
You know what? It's probably the apples.
It's what it is. Yeah. But then there's a little bit of like burnt popcorn in there too. Yeah. It tastes much better than it smells.
Yeah, it does. I don't hate it.
Let's say that. I don't hate it. But I do. The brotherly love is much better.
But if you like ciders,
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
you'll probably love this. But drink Evans because it's way better.
Yes, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, it was just something fun. Like I said earlier, the creativity and doing something new. We decided to try it, and it was kind of a little bit not really ticked off, but like they had Magners at the restaurant, and so I said, "Fuck, man, we can make a cider better than Magners, and probably a lot cheaper."
Yeah.
Which we made it better. I don't know if we made it any cheaper, but it was neat because we got to see, people found out about it, and the next thing you know, there's no more Magners, and we're selling 10 times as much cider as we were when we had Magners. So
you always have a cider on.
yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know a lot of ciders are, of course, gluten-free. Is this in that wheelhouse?
100% gluten-free, yeah. We did do one batch, maybe last year, I think, early part of the year, where we did an apple ale. So you use a little bit of malt,
right.
just a tiny bit, and, it was still pretty much gluten-free, but we couldn't say that, and you couldn't really tell any difference as far as taste goes, but,
Yeah.
we're just doing it gluten-free now.
Nice.
Cool.
An option for someone
Exactly.
that can't.
It's a good offering.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yes, please.
since I've got 2 ciders in front of me, and there's still lots in the growlers that are on the table, I think we should
Have some fun.
let's have a little. Well, I mean, we're already having fun.
Have some funner.
Some funner, some happy fun,
How about some nice fun?
some nice fun. Yes,
Have
good
some
fun.
good, nice
some
fun.
good, nice fun. Some wholesome family fun.
Good and nice have to be in the title.
I feel like I'm supposed to be taking a hint right now.
Considering we're all
It's time
staring
to
at
play
you.
the game,
Oh,
Wayne.
okay. I was cleaning the pizza grease off my glass.
Well,
I heard that's good for head retention.
Yeah. Very good.
there you go, Wayne.
All right. Now, I will apologize in advance, guys, because the game today is a little short. It's only 3 questions for 3 players. I was going to go a little longer, but honestly, I was just a little verklempt. Not feeling it, but it's okay. It's okay. Because we're playing a game we haven't played in a while.
Ooh.
Hello, the internet, and welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the only podcast trivia segment that is sustained by a swarm of 12 trillion thermonuclear nanobots programmed with the ability to comprehend sarcasm. Today, we are playing Years of Beers.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's been a long
15,
time, guys.
16.
15-16 is not one of the answers.
Damn it.
So anybody
Reinheitsgebot.
is not one of the answers either. So anybody who may not be familiar, because it has been a while since we played this game, basically I'm going to give you a seminal moment in the history of beer, and everybody has to guess what year it happened, and whoever gets the closest gets a point. If you get it dead on, you get a bonus point. Stuff like that. It's pretty chill. So we will begin, to my left, with Dan.
Imagine that.
In what year did astronaut/homebrewer Bill Reedy blast into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery, carrying an unofficial package, a bag containing Cascade hops, which Canadian Spinacres Brew Pub used to brew a beer? What year was that?
Discovery.
Yes, Space Shuttle Discovery.
19.
Can I phone a friend?
I'm gonna go 19. Oh God, 1983.
1983?
1983. I'm gonna say that.
1983. Okay, Steph, what year do you think that was?
Scheisse. I'm going to
That is not a
say
year.
15, 16.
1990.
19
1990.
AD.
1990.
Oh, 1990. Okay. And finally, Evan, what year do you think that was?
I'm going to go with $1.
$1? That's not a year.
No? All right, what was the, can you repeat the...
Sure. Astronaut/homebrewer Bill Reedy took onto the Space Shuttle Discovery some Cascade hops, which were later then brewed into a beer at Spinacres in Canada.
I'm going to say... 1975.
1975, pulling back a bit from the other answers, and the closest is actually Steph, because the year was 1992.
Oh, I was actually going to say 92. That's why I was trying to get your attention. Damn it. Oh, well.
1992. The hops traveled
92. 92.
3 million miles during 128 orbits. Upon touchdown, they were employed in 2 special casks, tapped by the commander himself, and then shared amongst the crew, their colleagues, and a collection of Spinnaker's regulars. Discovery Ale, as it was called, is a celebration of all the flights of the Discovery and the end of the shuttle era. Discovery Ale has a taste which defies gravity. Now, they still make Discovery Ale, but it's obviously, they don't send the
Not
hops
as cool.
into space every time. But it's a beer they still make. Moving on to our next question, and Steph is going to go first on this one. The development of Cascade hops, speaking of, began in Corvallis, Oregon in 1956. The hop was released to brewers in what year?
Wow. 1962.
Steph is saying 1962. Evan?
What was the year that you said?
The development began in 1956. In what year was it
56?
released to brewers? Cascade hops.
I'm pretty sure it was released to New Albion Brewing Company in 1971.
Okay, 1971 with a little extra detail there. Dan, what do you think?
Can I also say 1971?
Whoa! Whoa!
I'll go 72.
All right, you're going to say 1972?
I think it might be, it's 71.
1971?
No, I don't know.
It was 1972.
Motherfucker.
So, Dan gets a bonus point riding on the coattails of Evan, who actually knows what he's talking about. But yes, Cascade
Location.
Cascade hops originated from an open seed collection that included English Fuggle, Russian Serebrianker, I'm sure I'm saying it right. I've never heard of that one, and an unspecified male hop variety. Cascade was named after the Cascade Mountain Ranges in the Pacific Northwest. The hop variety was first used commercially by the New Albion Brewing Company, which established it as a signature hop for American.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I feel like he should get a bonus point.
I was going to say, give my bonus point to him.
I was going to give him a bonus point anyway.
He deserves
I'll
it.
still take mine then.
All right. Dan can keep his bonus point. We'll let you do that. Because like I said, it's a short game. This is our third and final question of the game, so get all the points you can while you can. And Evan is going to guess first on this one. And this is probably something you've heard of, but I don't know if you know what year it happened. The London Beer Flood, in which a vat ruptured.
Of course, I get the flood question.
Causing a vat ruptured at a brewery, causing a domino effect, and other vats also ruptured, ultimately causing 323 imperial gallons of beer to flood the streets. In what year? Oh, God. The Great London Beer Flood.
I've never even heard of this.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
Crap.
Exactly. Thank God.
Crap.
18-something.
I'm going to go 18-something.
He's taking the whole.
I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific than that.
Century?
Our century.
What did you say?
I said millennium.
25. Okay, go.
1825.
No, that's before London Fire. So
1925.
19, so you're not completely.
You just skip the century.
You've given up on the 19th century.
I don't like the 1800s.
So 1925.
1925.
1925.
Final answer.
Final answer. Dan?
1895.
This is so funny.
I thought it was going to say 1926.
You started out so confident, and then you ended like you're like 1820. I don't even remember what you said.
95.
1895. All right.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of emotion in a very short amount of time there.
Was this
Man.
Price is Right rules?
No idea.
No. This game never is Price.
It's closest, period.
Yes.
Okay.
So was it before Dan or after Evan? Or in the middle? You think it's in the middle?
That's probably because I remember seeing something about.
I'm going to say 1900. I'm not going to be.
All right,
Even-
I've got like a year or two where I could be right.
Well, actually, Dan was the closest
Oh my God!
Really?
because it was 1814.
James, you would have won.
1814.
You would have won.
He said 1825. James gets the point.
The disaster occurred at the Meh and Company Brewing.
Meh.
And the resulting wave of beer destroyed 2 homes and crumbled the wall of the Tavistock Arms pub, trapping a teenage employee, Eleanor Cooper, under the rubble. Within minutes, neighboring George Street and New Street were swamped with alcohol, killing a mother and daughter who were taking tea and surging through the room of people gathered for a wake.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, actually quite a disaster. Not really something to laugh at, but I mean, it was a beer flood. And it was over 100 years ago, so I guess, you know.
And it was a flood that wasn't at Manayunk.
And it was a
Wait,
flood
what
that
year
wasn't-
was it?
It was 1814.
200 years.
It was over 200 years ago. Like I said the first time. It was 1,000 years ago. So anyway, we're gonna add up the points real quick, and you will not believe,
Dan won.
4-way tie.
ladies and gentlemen,
Four-way tie.
we
between
only have 3
players.
players, but we have a 4-way tie. No, Dan, with his bonus point, is in the lead with 3 points, and actually, even without it, you would have won, because Steph and Evan have only 1 point apiece. And Evan, your point was a bonus point for knowing New Albion, so
That
you
was
didn't actually get any of these.
That was like a
right.
pity point.
It was well.
No, I think you deserve that.
I think
point.
to be fair, it was probably more impressive that you knew that New Albion was the first to use Cascade hops than it was that you knew the year that they did so, or that
I still think it was
released.
71.
Well, my sources said 72, and that's what counts.
That was a complete guess, actually.
Well,
Patreon.com/beerbusters.
Well, this feels kind of right to do this again.
No. Know your beers.
Steph, what do we have?
Can I just say I want background music? I think the game segment is so much awesomer because it has background music. Yes.
Oh, no, wait,
I love it.
that's the Patreon song. I can give you.
Do you have something German? Because I'm going to talk.
I don't have a whole song.
That's not background
German as a
music.
kid.
Wait, give me a second.
So, in honor of the first beer that we had, and because German beers are awesome, we're going to talk about the Kolsch. And because I like typing umlauts. The Kolsch is a clean, crisp, delicately balanced beer. Keep going.
That's
Usually
all I know.
with very subtle fruit flavors and aromas. It can be easily mistaken for a light lager, a somewhat subtle pilsner, or perhaps a blonde ale. The name Kolsch is protected by the Kolsch Convention and is restricted to the 20 or so breweries in and around Cologne, Germany. The convention simply defines the beer as a highly attenuated, hop-accentuated, clear top fermenting Vollbier. Each Cologne brewery produces a beer of different character, and each interprets the convention slightly different. So the aroma of a typical Kolsch is a pleasant, subtle fruit aroma from fermentation. You know, those apple, cherry, or pear notes. And a low, noble, hot aroma is sometimes present. Some yeast may also give a slightly winey or sulfury character. The appearance is going to be very pale gold to light gold. And I can't do this.
You wanted music.
No, and I love it, but that's why I have to hold the clipboard. I can't look at you. The appearance is very pale gold to light gold, and authentic versions are filtered to a brilliant clarity as a delicate white head that may not persist. The flavor of a Kolsch is a delicate flavor, balanced between soft yet attenuated malts and almost imperceivable fruity sweetness from fermentation, unless you're eating pizza with it, and a medium low to medium bitterness with a delicate dryness and slight pucker in the finish. Mouthfeel is, of course, smooth and crisp, medium light body, and medium to medium high carbonation. The Kolsch should be served in a tall, narrow 200 milliliter glass called a Strange. Come on, you have Stranges behind the bar, I hope.
Stranger?
Strange eye. And due to its delicate flavor profile, Kolsch tends to have a relatively short shelf life. Older examples can show some oxidation defects. Typical ingredients used in a Kolsch are German noble hops, of course, Hallertau, Tettnang, Spalt, Herzberger, German Pils or pale malt, and a clean ale yeast.
Umlaut.
Water can vary from extremely soft to moderately hard, and traditionally a step mash program is used. The beer is fermented at cool ale temperatures, 59 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and lagered for at least a month. Commercial of examples, those available in Cologne, of course, are, here's how terrible my German is, PJ Früh, Hellers, Malzmilch, Palfing, Sion, Peters,
Phlegm.
Dom, Yeah, that. More and import versions available in North America, Reisdorf and Goffel. I don't know. And non-German versions, Eisbahn Dorada, Goose Island Summertime, that one I can pronounce, Alaska Summer Ale, Harpoon Summer Beer, New Holland Lucid, and St. Arnold Fawn.
Yum.
Drink Kolsch beer.
Are you going to do that every time she says it?
We need to record you doing that for about 5 minutes and put it on the
Oh,
soundboard.
I can loop it. I can loop it.
But he was saying like Kolshy stuff.
Yeah.
I won't always be talking about Kolsch.
It's pretty impressive.
You should.
Every episode now is going to be about a Kolsch.
Oh my god.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Round 2, fight.
All right. There's a bottle at the table.
This is hand-bottled
Hand bottles.
sour beer
Ooh.
called Ficus Carica. It's actually originally was called Liquid Courage, and the fine folks, I should say, at the TTB said that implied an effect on the body, and we couldn't use that name.
Liquid Courage, really?
That has...
Isn't
No.
that what alcohol is?
That's
I know.
what
Definition.
Alfred called it in Batman.
But it's one of those things where you don't mess with.
No, you don't, yeah.
poke the bear.
Well,
so
Whatever you
That's
say.
right.
we looked up.
shitty bear.
This is a sour brown ale made with Black Mission figs. So if you Google Black Mission figs, you'll find out that their scientific name is.
Ficus Carica.
Thank you.
Which is not a planet from Battlestar Galactica, as I previously thought. All right, so now this is the test. So
Oh, hold on. This would be a good vine.
we talked a little bit.
My fingers already hurt.
We talked a little bit
Let me try one more.
pre-podcast about some of the difficulty with the corks
I mean, corks overall.
in these bottles. Corks overall, and so now we have a new method that's being tested here.
Get the child in this vine. Come on.
Although I said before, and I will say again, that the beer inside is worth the effort. So if you buy a bottle of Manayunk beer and the cork's a little fussy,
All right,
you
so
got to power through that.
there's another trick, which I'm not going to demonstrate here, but if you hold the bottle horizontally and you hit it with the bottom of your shoe, it'll pop the cork right out. It'll shoot the cork right out.
Like a bullet.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not going to do that here, but...
Or you
that
could
actually
also
work?
take a hammer.
I don't know. If you watch it on YouTube, it works. I have never tried it.
Next cork and cage I get, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Okay, give it that thing.
Now we're going to use the corkscrew. And here's the thing. If you don't have a corkscrew in your house, you're not
Get
an
one.
American.
Well, I mean, I think the issue is that some people, these kind of bottles, usually you can pull the cork out.
Yeah.
So if you're not ready for it or if you're not at home, then I guess it could be a little bit annoying.
frustrating, but
This beer is made all in stainless. It hasn't seen any wood, but it is soured with lactobacillus and Brett. And then we took way too many figs, over 1 pound per barrel, grinded them all up into like a paste, and then threw it in there, and it just kicked off a secondary fermentation. So it's not super sour. It's a little bit more funky, but it's really smooth. It's got a real good malt backbone to it.
it's really nice. This actually reminds me a little bit. It's similar to what is it, Ollie by Free Will,
Yeah.
which is also sour brown. So it's you know,
There's one right there.
I
there's one right
I
there.
spotted
Yeah.
that bottle
which
earlier.
is an
John just
awesome
gave
beer.
that to me the other day.
It's a good company to be at. I mean, it's not obviously it's different, it's distinct. It's got its own character, but it reminds me of that a bit.
Yeah, it's got a really impressive malt backbone to it. It's very, very, very sweet with it.
Yeah,
And it's not super like puckery tart sour.
No,
like
no,
you're saying, yeah.
no. It's got a really good acidity, and not really so much like Sour Patch puckering.
Yeah, you definitely still get the Belgian side of it. Sometimes that sour aspect takes over, and you're like, "Oh, it's a Belgian that's soured," but you don't. You still get those on the figs, right?
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, "That is a fig, right?"
Yeah.
I had a brain fart.
It's like a
The figs probably contribute to some of that dried fruit sweetness, but
yeah. I mean, you guys obviously, I tried it before the figs were added, and can see what the difference the figs made, and it's a pretty significant difference. The figs change this beer quite a bit. This is my favorite sour of the moment too. Just this moment.
and you made it.
This moment.
Just this moment,
Yeah.
this moment
because
right here.
it's what's in front of me.
See, if you would have started me off with this kind of sour stuff,
The
Would have been a
actually,
much better journey.
The first sour that you had, at least on the podcast, was a sour IPA. I don't remember what it was called.
It was from Magic Hat. And on the label, the guy was doing this.
Yeah, and that was not a good first sour because that's an intense.
It was an amazing sour.
It was really good, but it was really intense.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with that. You just stopped.
That was Dan's first sour, and his reaction was appropriate.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh my god, what is this?"
I've always liked malty beers. This would have been the way to get me into them.
It's true.
Where were you 2 years ago with this?
Yeah, I know. Well, better late than never.
True.
But sour and bitter really are complete opposites and a terrible combination.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Whoa.
Now, wait, listen, hear me out.
100%.
We're doing 2 new beers this year called Sour Resin Project, which is a golden sour, which is dry hopped.
That sounds amazing.
Right, but there's no bitterness. And so,
True.
That's where I'm headed. Is that some breweries are doing sour IPAs with bittering hops, and I don't despise them, but I just don't think they're living up to their potential. I think really, if you're going to do that, you go this route and you dry
hopping
hop
is the
a
way
sour.
to go. I agree. When is that one coming out?
The
one you're making?
The first one's coming out in June. It's actually in the tank right now. Nice. And it is fucking sour right now. Yeah. I think it's being dry hopped with Citra and Amarillo, maybe, or
Ooh, nice.
Citra and something. Who knows?
Will that be draft only?
No, we're gonna do a couple cork and cage cases. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. It's tasting great right now. And then we're going to do the second one is going to be later in the fall, maybe early winter, and it'll be in a pounder. So
In a can. You need to add that to the end of that clip. In a can. This is delicious.
This is really good.
Thanks.
And it's 6.8.
Yeah, it's a little
That's
bit bigger.
reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable, but it's bigger than most of the sours I've done are in the 5s. So we
But
went
for
little bit
a
bigger.
Belgian style sour, you expect something that has this Belgian character to it to be much higher in alcohol.
Sure.
So I like that it's reasonable. I'm not going to say it's sessionable like you would.
It's got a nice complex character despite that. I mean, normally you expect...
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit cold. We should have probably warmed it up a little bit, but
Oh, there's a little in the bottle
No
left.
one take what's left in the
we
bottle.
can leave it sit for a while.
yeah, there's a lot going
We
on.
can come back to it.
And that's what I like about it. Every sip's a little bit different. You get caramel, you get plum, you get dark fruit, you get fig, you get sour, obviously, you get Belgian-y, you get fruity. And, the Brett, I think, and that's the other cool thing, too, is that there's, a shit ton of Brett in there, too. So this is just going to something you could cellar for a while. You could sit on it for 6 months or a year, a couple years, who knows. Mm-hmm. It should just get more complex and different.
And for anyone, I know we mentioned about the corks. Mm-hmm. Although the corks may be a bit of a struggle to get out, it is not in any way hindering the amazingness of the beer.
Oh, not at all.
The beers are still,
It was really just our way to say F you to everybody.
Like, if you wanted this
You
beer,
want this
you
beer?
gotta
Work for it.
Exactly. I wish it was all on purpose. Yeah, this is, so Beer to Mars was something we always, do you have to do a sound?
No?
No.
Thanks for asking that.
We can if you want. Let's
Yeah,
pick a
I'd
random
like-
sound.
I'd like to get something.
Wait a fucking minute.
There, perfect.
Oh.
Beer to Mars is something that we've done for a while, and this is a new take on it. This is something we've never done, which was decided to make it really, really hoppy, and some of these northeastern or New England type hoppy farmhouse kind of beers. So
It smells amazing.
Yeah,
I'm like putting off actually tasting it because I just want to kind of
Oh, I haven't taken a sniff yet.
savor.
I really wanted to put.
Hey.
Yeah, this is right up your alley. I really wanted to put some bread in it too because I want to put bread in everything, really, but.
I support that decision.
I think that would be good.
I
yeah.
didn't put any in this
Brett
just
de
because.
Mars?
Yeah. Well, our normal Beer to Mars recipe always had Brett
Yeah.
as a like a secondary
Oh.
fermentation.
Breadier DeMars.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's heavenly.
Yeah.
Did you take a
good.
sip?
I did.
Oh, boy.
The hop character to it is unexpected, but really nice.
Yeah, it was something radically different, and I said, let's just do it. I mean, it's like I said, it's fun to play around, and I can't remember off the top of my head what hops this was, but
The hoppiness kind of rounds it out in the end. Like, I get a lot of it on the back end, but it doesn't overstay the welcome. It's like you want to go back in for more.
And it's got like the three things going, like the farmhouse, and the Belgian yeast, and then like sort of the almost IPA like hop character, which are again, and I've said this before about other beers in the past, but it's like three things that you think probably wouldn't work so well together, but they come together so perfectly. And they're three things that I like about a lot of different kinds of beers, and to have them all together in one.
And it's the kind of beer you really want to inhale when you go to take that sip. It's just, the bouquet is just amazing.
What was the ABV on this?
6 something?
7.
7?
It's interesting too, because this is something that we've been doing a lot of lately, is really, really late boil hops or no boil hops, always only whirlpool and dry hopping. So it's kind of funny because, we do the recipe on beer software and it says 40 IBUs, but the amount of hops that goes in to get that 40 is like enough for 200 because it's so late in the boil and there's not extracting any bitterness.
Additions that would be like chewing on a cigar.
Yeah. Like some of the hoppiest beers I've made have the least amount of IBUs theoretically. I mean, who knows? I haven't had them tested, but
I don't know about you, but when I add a crap ton of hops, dry hopping, like there's a part of me that's like you kind of feel like, I feel like sometimes I'm wasting the hops. Like, I shouldn't. But when you get to this point and you see what that does, then you're like, oh, okay, it was worth it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what you use during the boiling process, and then what you use during dry hopping, and everything it soaks up. And sometimes I'm like, oh. But when the end product is this, you're like, oh yeah.
This actual batch was 15 barrels and over 40 pounds of dry hops.
Oh
alone.
my god!
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my god!
So that's over. It's like what, 2.5 almost pounds or almost 3 pounds of hops per barrel.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have an
crazy.
Unlimited hop budget?
No.
No, he just knows how to use them.
No, not that. I just hope my boss isn't listening.
We have to bleep all that out.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all about balance, and certain beers use a lot of hops, other beers don't. Certain beers have a lot of malt, other beers don't. So, at the end of the day, you got to look at the bottom line and be profitable. But this is one of the extravagant beers where it's hops are the most expensive part of beer. So we go all out with some of them, and something like Ficus Carica might have had a pound, if that, and they were probably 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
So
Right.
It balances out.
That's what's great about sour beers.
Yeah.
You use stale hops.
I do. I have this one, like, I don't know where it came from. It was this bale of Cascade whole leaf hops. I think it's about 20 pounds or something. And I just throw a handful in all my sour beers just in the boil just to say that there was hops in it. Nice. But there's no IBUs. I mean, there's nothing left in them. There's no bitterness left. They've been there since I've been there, which is coming up on 5 years. So
wow.
Yeah, it's
so,
like my.
Yeah, there's hops. Yeah,
I'm gonna be so mad when they run out.
It's funny though because you say like hops are like the most expensive ingredient to go into brewing, and yet like you throw in a little bit of 5-year-old hops into a sour. Yet a sour you can charge a lot more for a sour than you can charge for an IPA, and people will pay it.
Sure. Yep.
You put a lot of time.
It's the time. Yeah, that's true.
It's sour beers. It's not. You're paying for the labor there. It's a labor of love for sure.
It's I mean, it's not really a lot of labor. It's more a lot of
waiting,
inefficient waiting. Yeah, I mean, you're tying up tanks, or you're tying up barrels, or you're tying up space.
Yeah,
and all those things cost money. So
I mean, it's the bacteria that's really doing the labor. The brewer's just kind of leaving it there.
That's right. That's what I always say. Brewers don't make beer; they make work.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's even in a can.
Of course.
Nice.
This is our hip hop IPA series, the second edition, which is it says 10.2. It's a little bit higher than that. Triple IPA. Again, this is the theme.
We opened one can.
Yeah, this is the theme of the show. But I've never brewed a triple IPA, so I was like, hey, let's do one.
Let's do this.
Yeah, and it's called Sir Dank-A-Lot. All of our hip hop beers are named after our favorite hip hop songs or artists from when I was a kid.
Yeah, I also like the sort of retro style to the label design. Like it's got like yellow and like purplish, like old school graffiti letters. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm so scared of this beer.
just a little bit. I know. I think I poured a little more than.
Yeah, where's that mark? Just the tip. Just the tip. Now you can see this one is extremely filtered. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my God! I just smelled it. Oh God! Oh God!
I just smelled it.
Holy crap! That smells great.
This is Chinook, Equinox, and Simcoe, and it's called our Piney and Dank IPA. So each hip hop series has a different theme to it. So these were the most resiny dank hops we had to use.
But it doesn't.
You are an evil, evil man.
I know it doesn't taste like 10%.
No, that's why you're evil.
That's why it's dangerous.
It doesn't
You could
smell.
pound a can of this.
It doesn't smell overly dank either. I haven't taken a sniff.
No, it's actually like slightly, I would say like herbal or like grassy in the aroma. It's really nice.
It's like,
Like
a
wet
bit of
grass
spicy hop
with
too,
a
which
little,
I really like.
little spice and a bit of dank, but not a lot.
So
It's good.
unlike the Beer to Mars, this has 100 IBUs. Theoretical IBUs.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible.
It's really good, but it is a bit intense. It doesn't taste like 10.2%, but
No.
But
it
you
definitely
feel
packs
the
a wallop.
Drinker be warned.
and no, you feel the bitterness towards the end of it though.
How do you do it? Like, seriously.
That is a fair question.
Just
Water,
living,
barley,
living
Do
the
these
dream.
recipes, are they like slipped under your pillow by the brewery angel at night? Like,
No.
Brewery
They just-
Angel.
I'm
I-
sorry, it's fairies that put things
Oh,
under
sorry.
your pillows.
The brewery fairy?
I literally just pull them out of thin air.
I thought he was going to say somewhere else.
That's not thin air.
And that's also implied.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to the guys that I'm working with in the brewery, Donovan especially. We just kind of have some beers after work sometimes and say, what do we want to do? What do we want to put in this? And I think this has got some victory malt, which gives it a nice little nutty character in the back. Something to play against those hops, and we just have fun doing it.
I get like a little vanilla out of it too in the back.
I like that the malts, it gives it a backbone with, and I hate to use that word because whenever I think of malt backbone, I always use that to describe the strong IPAs that are more like sweet from the malt, and
The
then you
malty
get
IPAs.
bitter. It's like sweet malt and just bitter hops.
I imagine like
But
a
this-
zombie monster made out of barley.
Yeah, that. But this gives it a true malt flavor that's malt and not like sweet malt, but it's still very much about the hops. Like the only way you would know that this is 10% is because of the complexity and the body.
Oh, you'll know
of
when
the
you try to
beer.
stand up.
Well, that's
Oh boy.
And you know what though? That is one good thing, and that I think you've built into this beer. And it's not a bad thing, but like the character, the flavor, and the hops and the bitterness is super intense. To that, like if you drink a whole can of this, even if you don't know it's 10.2%, I kind of feel like you'd be like, okay, now I want something a little lighter. Like that was awesome and great, but I feel like if you cracked open a second can of this, like just flavor wise,
You're
it's
crazy.
just so intense. So it kind of has a built-in effect where it stops you after a can. Like, okay, this is 10.2%.
That's true.
It's super bitter. It's a lot of hop flavor.
Well, maybe.
You
I
should
don't know.
probably have some water or something now.
perhaps. I don't know if I
or
want to
just wash it down with another Dankalot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I think, Dan, you said that maybe some vanilla. It does have some carapils, which, adds some extra body, a little bit of extra maltiness, and, caramel is very vanilla-like. So I could see that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I like really dry IPAs. I don't like malty beers, per se. I especially don't like malty IPAs, like some of those West Coast red IPAs that are real malty. I just can't stand them, so... I keep the grain bills pretty simple. Victory is about as malty as I can get. But yeah, this is one of the maltier beers that we've brewed.
Can I just say how awesome our tablecloth looks right now, by the way?
Yeah.
I just don't know. I hope these are still pickles.
That's the title of this episode. I hope these are still pickles.
All right, so this is bonus time.
Oh, we've entered bonus territory.
Bonus
Ladies
time.
and gentlemen.
This is an Imperial Brunch Stout, Rise and Grind. It's made with cold brewed coffee from Philly Fair Trade. They roast their own beans right in Philadelphia.
That's my favorite way to make coffee.
It's got a ton of chocolate, a ton of coffee.
Literally a ton.
Probably 2 tons. If we
Literally.
if we
if,
measure-
if we were weighing
we
it.
were
Metric
weighing
or
it.
imperial?
Oh,
Yep.
look at that pour.
You guys will not believe the nose on this beer.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I think coffee beers are like one of the greatest things.
Oh,
I love coffee and I love chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's-
good.
oh, it smells so good. I haven't tasted it yet.
When I interned at Iron Hill, the assistant brewer who was there at the time, Mike, he every night before we left, he would prepare cold brewed coffee. So when we came in the morning, it was ready to go. And
Oh my god!
it was the first time I had ever had cold brewed coffee like that. And the flavor without the bitterness, it was mind blowing.
So I think we, like I said before, we hand bottle our bottle releases. I think we did about 50 cases of this, and I think we drank about 100 while we were bottling it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh my god, this is incredible.
I need the bottle.
Wayne, have you tried it yet?
No, but it smells so good that I literally just accidentally dipped my nose in it.
I've done that before. Oh my god. I want to see your reaction because I feel like this is right up your alley. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, this is definitely a Wayne beer.
This and the
shizzle.
the beer de Mars, definitely perfect.
I didn't even know this was in the fridge, so bonus.
All right.
Yes. We win. We all win now.
Yeah. This is a game where there's no losers.
Wait, this is 10%?
10.3 or 2?
10.3.
Oh.
10.3.
Why? It doesn't need to be. Let me drink it. See, I would want to drink this whole bottle. That's the
other
problem.
guys wanted it to be higher. I stopped it at 10.2. I mean 10.3. It probably. Yeah, I don't know. They were talking about 14.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
Are
don't
they
really
trying
like.
to go with
session
Sunday
territory.
morning stout?
Yeah, I don't really like big beers per se.
Says the man that just served us 2 10% beers. That
Yeah, but
he
like,
made.
yeah, but you
But
know
he
what?
cannot lie.
I love this. I love this beer. Right.
I love this beer and I cannot lie.
I don't love the dank a lot. Like that's not my style. That's not something I would pick out at a store. That's not something I would drink ever. Not ever, but I brewed that for people that love big IPAs.
And they thank you.
And they cannot lie either.
Right. The most fun part about brewing this was the chocolate. Like it came in like, if you ever see nibs, they're like little tiny chunks or little pieces, and like it's kind of also powder. So we actually used some hot liquor and melted it all down into these big buckets and then poured it right into the kettle. It was. I've never smelled a brewery smell so good as the day we brewed this beer.
Oh man!
And then all the coffee, the cold press was added at packaging time. So right into the bright tank.
Like at very end.
Yeah.
Nice.
You should do a firkin of this with like roasted coconut or something.
I thought you were going
did.
to say some sort of chili.
We did so many.
That would be the obvious thing.
Okay, so we did a lot of firkins of this, all different kinds of things. They were all awesome.
This is meant to be a firkin.
Now
Yeah, you
there-
could put a lot of different things in this. That would be great.
Here's the kicker: there are 2 rum barrels of this with chilies, and there are 2 bourbon barrels, Woodford Reserve
Where?
barrels,
With
maple syrup.
Where are they?
I can't tell you; they're in a hidden place. Now they're coming
Guarded
out
by top men.
Yeah, they're coming out in October. So we're gonna brew another batch of the regular and have like a 3, maybe like a gift box with all 3 or something. Cool. Or, yeah,
I would buy
that'd
that.
be cool. That's a good idea. Yeah.
I would
trying to
probably
figure
buy
out.
2 of those.
And guess what? Instead of a beer glass, guess what it comes with?
A coffee mug.
Hey!
Of course.
I would definitely buy 2 of those.
Yeah,
of course.
October, you say?
October, I think.
All right, October-ish.
Can you pre-order
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So
beer?
beer, beer.
It's good and stuff.
So beer.
I don't know how you do it. This was an unbelievable array of beer and flavors and everything, and Steph's pouring more of a 10% beer.
I shouldn't, but I'm going
Wayne's probably just going to chug the rest of it. But, I mean, seriously, we had a Kolsch, we had a
Hey
cider.
man, hashtag YOLO.
It's true. We had a Kolsch and a cider and ficus, that thing, and this.
Ficus carnivoricus.
Yeah, sure, that. What was this like? Ficus what?
Caprica.
Ficus carica.
Okay, I can't read my own handwriting. We found that out last week.
Or Ficus Garcia.
Ficus Garcia.
See, that I can remember.
I can see that.
That I can remember. But it just blows my mind that you can have this widespread array of flavors, and each and every one of them is so unbelievably solid, and then some. I mean, the Kolsch was a great way to start. It was light, it was crisp, it was amazing, and the pizza and everything. And then you go into the Brotherly Love, which was like the alcoholic apple cider. And the fact that you keep cranking out different stuff like this, I mean, you have your standbys at the restaurant, and then you have so many different beers that you put out. I'm excited for what the canning line is going to bring you, and I really want to try that blueberry IPA.
Wait, I think we have another pairing before we wrap this up.
Oh crap!
We have some Girl Scout cookies.
Ooh,
These are from Florida.
Oh, from Florida.
They're
bought 'em-
imported.
These are
From the faraway kingdom of Florida, the exotic land.
I took the Lear down to buy these from my niece.
The Do-si-dos pair quite nicely with this beer.
I think he said this had sour cherries, cranberries, and raspberries.
That is correct.
So let's make it a podcast official. What are we drinking?
Rodenbach Character Rouge.
Ah,
I'm trying
Character
to see. Do
rouge.
you know what year it is?
No. I know it's been in my cellar for many years.
You have a lot of.
wow!
Yeah. Isn't
haven't
that
haven't
delicious?
tasted it yet, but it smells amazing.
Oh man,
This
the
is
sourness that's in the nose, totally in the flavor, the way you want it to be.
Oh wow!
The way you want it to be.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. This would be my dream to go visit Rodenbach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like even the color of it, it's a nice amber
that's a great
tone
color,
to it.
Yeah.
It smells. You know what? It doesn't smell as sour and tart as you get in the flavor, but it enhances it.
They've been brewing this beer for 200 some years.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the fruit is like a new spin on it, but this base beer, 200 plus years they've been making this.
Wow.
So guess how many years has this been in your cellar?
I don't know, when did it come out? I got it as soon as I got it actually.
The earliest year is 2010.
That's probably right.
So
It's
6 years, 5, 6
It's
years.
perfect right now.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if they said that they do any pasteurization to preserve it, the way that they want it to be. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what they do.
The cranberry
It
is
says
really
best before,
strong.
see the bottom.
Yesterday, damn it!
Holy shit. Best before April 18th, 2016.
Oh my god!
That's like, you couldn't be any closer.
That's
Couldn't
like what,
be any
10 days
closer
away.
than that, yeah.
Holy shit!
Wow.
That's amazing. That was completely by accident.
Oh my god.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
That's
It's
crazy.
amazing how you still get
I've
the
never
fruit,
seen that.
though.
Yeah.
Look,
Which means
best before, see the bottom.
It's at least a
I've never seen that on a
when
bottle.
you are listening to this podcast, this bottle of beer would have turned to poison.
No, I think it just actually disappears.
It just disappears. Just evaporates.
That's just drink before or it's gone.
It's like Inspector Gadget.
Da 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 da
Inspector Gadget. You left me hanging there.
da 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 da.
Nice.
So there are so many extreme sour beers now, and this is like the godfather of them all. But it's still, man, it's timeless, man. It's just so good. They just have it right, and they don't screw it up.
Made an offer you couldn't refuse.
That's right.
What's nice about this is like the tart fruity character also has like a savory quality to
Yeah.
it. It's almost like kind
I
of a
agree.
bit like tomato-ish. I'm getting like a sort of
Tomato?
like,
See, I don't get that.
but like a savory like tomato saucy kind
No.
of.
Okay, like
I
the
still don't get that.
sweetness.
Yeah, like a sweet tomato sauce. Yeah. Like a savory but sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
I've had this beer before, and I had 2014, and it was not near. The cranberry is much more forward in this year than the one I had, and it's nice. It's a lot because the cranberry obviously is more tart. It's good. Sorry, I can't be as descriptive and poetic at this point.
Well,
in the show.
after everything they've had,
This is nice. Well, thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah,
Holy
thank you.
crap.
This is awesome. Yes.
I
good
was
timing
gonna,
with it.
I mean, not to burst your bubble. I was going to drink this either way tonight. After hearing
just
about
so
it
happened.
all the way to Manayunk and all the way home today, I was like, yeah, this is getting.
Nice.
I've got some really old vintage ones in there too. The Grand Cru, like 2008, 2006, I think.
So we need to come hang out with you more often, is what you're saying.
No, you know what? I don't age beer that long. It's just I get a lot of beer.
There's ones you just forget about for a little while, and like my fridge, I have a few that are accidentally aged for a little while.
I had an accidentally aged sweet baby Jesus last night
That was only like
at
5
Dan's house.
months. Yeah, November is when I got
We
it.
had an accidentally aged Teddy Topper.
Yeah, we did.
that we dumped.
That was
because it was
bad.
terrible.
Oh, that was horrible.
I can imagine. I accidentally aged a bottle of Bourbon County that you gave me.
Well, that's meant to be aged.
Yeah, that would be good.
I didn't even realize I still had it. I'm just
See
digging
what
through
kind
the
of
old
cousin
stash.
I am? I give them Bourbon County.
Nice.
Digging through the old
I
stash.
bring
and
Julius.
It was I think
that
it
was a nice touch.
2013 that I had the end of last year. Oh my god, that was incredible. I'm at a loss for words for this entire night. Started off with the Kolsch. We went and had a cider. We went and had
so long ago.
coffee beers and hip hop beers that were super like hip hop
Hooray.
hop beers.
Hooray!
And you know, even going with the one that we got 10 days before it was like poison, and
Fuck.
it's
The fig beer was awesome.
yes, and what I love is the array of flavors and the journey that you're able to take people on. I love that you have the staples at Manayunk, but then you have the ones that are.
You also have the thumbtacks.
All right, the
Paper
thumbtacks
clips.
and the paper clips and the
Rubber bands.
You can't forget the binder stickers, the reinforcements.
The sticky clips.
Oh, I
Yes,
hate those things.
I hated those things
Duct
in
tape.
school.
Liquid paper.
Rubber cement. Elmer's glue.
But it's just amazing, and I'm excited
The
to.
stapleless staplers.
I'm excited to
These?
see what happens when you get the canning line installed, and I want to try that
Scotch
blueberry
tape.
rye IPA. And I know that in October I need to keep my eye out for what you guys are releasing. But it's incredible. You're upholding the tradition of Manayunk while making it your own and doing some incredible things that are so unbelievably great and necessary. And as a beer drinker, I can't thank you enough for that.
And you're nice, and your beers are good.
And that too.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. But I can't thank you enough for having us out here and taking us through this
Yes, thank you
tour
so
of
much.
your offerings. And the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
And
well,
the pizza.
And the pizza.
the pleasure's all ours, and thanks for coming out and recording with us and learning more about what we got going on. And I wish I could say that it wasn't fun, that it was a job, but this is I wake up every day before my alarm clock goes off. Can't wait to get to the brewery and start brewing and making beer that people can enjoy. So,
And it shows
Great,
in the
yeah.
finished
Yeah.
product. It really
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this episode fresh, Saturday, April 23rd is, of course, the 18th Annual Brewfest at Manayunk.
hell yeah.
The
If you're
CBC
listening-
party, May 4th, you can break in.
Which unfortunately is
Yeah.
a Wednesday.
No, you know what? It's open. Just,
Oh, it's open
just
to
come.
anyone, not just
come.
invite. All right, anyone can
Just
go.
come, yeah.
Go and see. I
fine.
mean, you'll probably see some pretty
You've
awesome
seen the
people
place.
there.
It's huge. Anybody that wants to come can come,
Perfect. And then, of course, the
especially
end of
homeless
May.
people.
Check out Manayunk Brewing Company's Facebook page or phillybeerweek.org to see the awesome events that are coming up.
Check
at
out
the end as
their
well.
Twitter, their Facebook, their social media in general, because apparently now there's somebody on it.
Yeah,
The
there's
Soch
like
person.
we have
officially-
Instagram, Soch, and
Like there's
I
social going on.
tagged the Instagram very briefly in one of our many breaks that we had tonight.
Yeah, they
Nice.
retweeted us.
Yeah,
That's
we've
one
been
way.
retweeted tonight as we've been recording.
Oh, no, this was all my personal one. I
I-
didn't do anything off of our show one.
I
That's-
know I did one on our
All right, cool.
Steph does all that. But
So,
Hello.
kudos to you, Manny Young, social media person.
What is that person's name?
Jay.
Jay, you are awesome.
thanks,
All
Jay.
right, Jay.
We love you.
Soshin Jay.
Yes, Social J.
Hashtag Jay is nice.
Stop.
But definitely stay on top of that social media because there's a lot of great things that are coming down the pipe for
We
Manny.
call him the better Breslin.
Well, we can't forget tonight's episode was, of course, brought to you, or whenever you're listening to it, this episode was brought to you by Audible, audibletrial.com/beerbusters. Go and sign up for your free, I repeat, free 30-day trial of an Audible account. Download, listen to, enjoy, re-listen to an audiobook of your choosing.
Hey, Dan.
Hi.
Do they have erotic dinosaur fiction on Audible?
I'll tell you what, Wayne, your homework is to find out
Okay.
and report back to me next episode.
I will let you know.
All right, good.
Tell you what, you could find out for free.
That's true. That is true. Which I
You know
do
what?
have-
I think I'll go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
All right. Show your support for Beer Busters. Enjoy your free audiobook. I have one queued up waiting for me that I really meant to listen to a long time ago. Not in a galaxy far, far away, in this galaxy that we are currently in. But if you go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters, you can have one yourself.
And if you want to come and be in the audience, Friday, May 13th, we'll be at Brewery at Hershey for our Central PA folks. And for our Philly area folks, we will be at Second Story, one of our big Philly Beer Week events, on Friday, June 3rd.
That's going to be awesome. Don't forget about Little Big Beer Fest.
Of
April
course.
30th.
On April 30th.
It's a
in
Saturday.
Harrisburg at Appalachian Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Come out, drink some big beers.
Big
I think they have
beers.
an Uber discount, so you can get yourself home safely.
Nice.
Or some sort of deal going on. I should probably have checked that before I said it, but I believe that is true.
They did last year, and that was a great thing. You can also go to, of course, patreon.com/beerbusters and be one of our beloved patrons that we have. And you, of course, get different rewards and perks and access to behind-the-scenes stuff that
I posted a lot tonight.
Steph posts a lot of, and this is why we need you here every single episode.
And
Steph.
I promise that if we get 100 patrons, we will make the end of our episodes like half as long.
Exactly.
Because this is going on for a really long time.
It kind of has.
You didn't even play the music yet.
We haven't yet, I know, and I'm at 5% battery on the iPad.
Let's go.
Hurry up.
Well, this unfortunately brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. Evan, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was
lot of fun.
incredible.
You're awesome, Evan.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
Amazing.
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 We miss you, Mark.
We do, indeed. You've taken us on a flavor journey, and I can't wait to get back out to the restaurant and have some of this great beer with some of that great food you guys have out there, including the Kolsch and the pizza. Can't forget that. Well,
We're going to have some real gems at the Beer Fest, too. So
oh, great.
if you guys can get out, I know I can get you in.
All right. I appreciate that. Well, I'm Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewerologist,
Well, not as always, but Steph Hefner.
Anna from Entertainer,
Wayne Baker.
Squids.
Those are not pickles anymore.